Okay, but what if we want to be able to control the wrapping of the Flexbox items? In this case, we can use the Flexbox wrapping. This property controls the wrapping behavior of the items inside the container according to Flex direction. In other words, the FlexWrap CSS property sets whether the flex items, these items that we have here, are forced onto one line going like this, or they can wrap into multiple lines. If wrapping is allowed, it sets the direction that lines are stacked. So what do I mean by that? Let's suppose that we have two more items here like this. Now by default this item will be overflowed and it will not fit inside this container, so it needs to be overflowed. And if I have item 6, it will be invisible totally. So using Flexbox we can control this. The default value of the Flexbox is no wrap, which is the behavior that we can see here. So all the items are forced into one line. No matter what, they cannot break into second or third line. We have two more values that can change this. Second value is called wrap. When wrapping happens, the items that cannot fit inside the first line will be moved to the second line. So like this. Item 5 will go down and the flex container will be bigger. And there is a third value for this. Try to guess that one. Exactly, that's wrap reverse, which will wrap but in reverse order. In this case, item 5 will be wrapped, but it will go up. So like this. Great, so let's go and see this in real coding example. Okay, let me remove this media, we don't want it anymore. Now here, and let me make this like this. Great. Now, suppose these have some width. I would define something here, but I will describe this later on when we get to it. So let's say this is like this. Now the fourth item, as you can see, overlaps. If I go here and say which is the default value, nothing happens. If I go and say wrap, again this will come the next line, and of course if I say wrap reverse, it will go, the fourth item will go to the top. Now if I have more of these, of course they will be stacked on top of each other. Now the fun thing is that if we have row reverse here, they will be going from bottom right all the way to top right. Okay, so let's make it smaller like this. And again, now let's see another thing in action here. So we have it like this, and let's say the direction is on column. Now I don't need this anymore. They are stacked on top of each other, but I want them to have some value, and like the 4 item go here. So I need to give this some height so it doesn't go beyond that, and some height to these ones as well, like so. Let me make it a bit less. And now, yeah, you can see as the height gets to 70 and the fourth item cannot be here, it will be wrapped into the next column because our direction is on columns. Now if I remove the flex wrap, or better say set it to no wrap, they will be squished together unless we use that flex value that we used for the item. That I will talk about this later on. But for now, if we have something like this, it works exactly the same as we had the direction on the row and we set the width for that item. So it's not recommended to use this. We would have it something like this for the flex items. So what we learned in this video is that the wrapping will have three values: no wrap, wrap, or wrap reverse. If it's set to no wrap, no wrapping will happen. Everything will be on the main axis, laid out based on the direction that we define here. So if it's row, it will be like this. Let me remove height from here so it's not misleading. And if we set it to wrap, any item that is overflowing the container will be moved to the next row. And if we set it to wrap reverse, the overflowing item will be moved to the previous row. Obviously, if the items don't overflow, changing this value will do nothing.